Hi, I'm Phyllis and my website is southernfrugal.com. Today we are going to make a peanut butter pie crust, and I'm going to make that for a special filling we're going to put in it. So this is an experiment and we'll see if it's going to work. So what I have done is kind of taken a recipe for peanut butter cookies and kind of altered it to see if it won't make a good pie crust. Alright, so we've got 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour in the bowl, and to that I'm going to add half a teaspoon of salt. Just mix that around a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and put on my glove because we're going to have to be mixing this with my hand. So I'm going to add in some butter. I can find my spatula. This is 1/4 of butter, and it's kind of at room temperature. Put that right down in the middle. And we're going to add 1/2 cup of peanut butter, and I'm using the Jif Natural Creamy. You could also probably use the crunchy peanut butter too. Put that right down in the middle there. Get all of that out. Alright, now we're just going to mix that flour in to the peanut butter and that softened butter. Just about to forget, we're also going to add 1/4 cup of light brown sugar. Just put that right in there in the middle. Now we might need more flour, I'm just not sure, because this is sort of an experiment. And I'm going to go ahead and add a few drops, or about 1/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla extract, just because. That ought to do it right there. Just a little bit of that vanilla. I'm just going to keep mixing it up with my hands. Yeah, this is going to have a different kind of filling in it. And we just definitely wanted a peanut butter crust. I don't have a recipe for that, but if this works, I will have a recipe. Alright, so we've got kind of got it mixed in there pretty good now. Now I'm going to add, this is 1 egg yolk plus 2 tablespoons of cold water. I'm just going to dump that in. Now if that's too much, then I'm going to have to add more flour. Just squish it all around. Get that egg all mixed in there. Now the egg yolk is sort of what's going to hold it together. It already smells good, I know that. Alright, I think I'm going to need just a little bit more flour. Just a little bit. There's probably a couple of tablespoons there. Just work that in. Alright, that looks like it's going to work to me, but now we've got to have to roll it out. That might have been a little too much flour in there. So I'm going to just dribble it with about 2 teaspoons of water. I should have left well enough alone, I think. Alright, I think we've about got it together now. Hopefully this is going to work. If it doesn't, I'll just try again and adjust my ingredients accordingly. Alright, so let's get this stuff out of the way here. And we're ready to put some flour on our, excuse me, I didn't mean to bump y'all. All right, so we are going to now put some flour down on our board. Now I've got saran wrap on this little board here. So I'm gonna see a little bit of flour, just because it's got the peanut butter in it, and it might be sticky. So I've also got sugar in there. All right. Now I'm not going to, put this in the refrigerator or anything like that. I'm just going to try to roll it out just like this, if I can. By first mashing it down sort of into a little round disc. Like that. Let me take this glove off. So we're going to put some more saran wrap on top of this. There we go. And one more piece. Like that. All right, now we're going to see if we can get this rolled out. Start in the middle. I know one thing, it smells good. Of course, I love peanut butter. I'm going to try to get it the same thickness all the way around. Now I've got my oven preheating to 375 degrees, and I'm thinking this is going to cook for maybe 10 to 15 minutes. I'll just have to keep a check on it to figure that part out. Now I want to be able to put a little ridge around it for the filling, so we'll see how that works. Now the little brown spots in there are little bits of sugar, brown sugar. You know how they get those little dark pieces of sugar in from, I guess, humidity? Anyway, that doesn't hurt a thing. All right, you might have gotten it. Because I really don't want this as thin as a regular pie crust. I really kind of want it thick. So this is sort of the answer to peanut butter cookie pie crust. And of course, you could make your peanut butter cookies and then grind them up. That would work too. But I'm thinking this might work even better. All right, I think we've got this pretty well. I think this is a 10-inch pie plate here, and that looks like it'll work. All right, so I don't want to get flour all over everything, so let's see how we can do this. That didn't work. All right, I'm going to have to take this one off first. I'm just going to flip that flour up on there. Like that. Rub it out now. All right, we're going to see if we can get this in the crust. In the pie plate now. Maybe I'll try this. Try it like that, just to get it up. Okay, y'all. Remember now, I told you this is experimental here. Now, if it tears or whatever, we can always patch it. Let's see if we can do it like this. Unroll it very slowly. Like that. All right, now we're going to patch it up. Like that. Now this is really pretty much like a peanut butter cookie, really. Now the difference would be I didn't add any baking powder to it because I certainly don't want it to rise up. All right, let's get a fork. Again, we're just going to patch it up. Get the air bubbles out of it. And you don't want to stretch it, of course, so try to make it look neat. Like that. I know one thing, it smells super good. It smells like peanut butter cookies to me. Let's cut this around now. Now I did grease the bottom of this pan with a little bit of Crisco because I sure don't want this crust to stick, especially since it has some brown sugar in it. I'm going to roll this out and just cut out some cookies with it. I am. All right, let me put that aside. All right, now let's work on this some more. I'm making a little edge on it. Just pinching my fingers together like that, right at the top edge. And again, I wanted this to be a little bit thicker than a regular pie crust. So once we bake this, we're going to let it cool because the filling we're going to put in it is going to be cool too. Yeah, I think it's going to work out pretty good. Anyway, it's coming together once it's been patched up. Make sure there are no air bubbles in there. Alright, I'm going to bake this in the oven at 375 degrees. I'm going to look at it after 10 minutes because all I want is this pie crust to be done. Because after all, we've got an egg in there. Well, we've got an egg yolk in there. So when I give you all the recipe down below this video, I'm going to give you the original thing I started with, because my guess is I shouldn't have added the extra flour, because that caused me to have to add more water. So I'm just going to put the regular recipe I started out with down there. And again, this was derived from a peanut butter cookie recipe, and I just eliminated the baking powder and the baking soda. And instead of putting a whole egg, I just put an egg yolk mixed with some ice water. Alright, y'all, I think we got it. Hopefully it'll all hold together. Alright, I'm going to go put this in the oven. We'll be back when this is done and it has cooled. Alright, we are back and ready to make the filling for this crust. Now, it turned out pretty good. It did kind of puff up in the middle, and I had to kind of poke it with the fork after about 10 minutes in the oven. Now, I cooked it 15 minutes, and it did well. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and mix up the filling. Now this is going to be a strawberry Jello filling with cream cheese, just like some of the others I have made. Only we're making this so it's going to be a pie that you can slice. And we'll be having this probably tonight. So I've got a cup, or excuse me, a half cup of water I have boiled in the microwave. So we're going to dump that pack of Jello. Now this is the 3-ounce pack of Jello. Now some of y'all, when I was first doing the Jello, I think ended up getting the larger size, and I don't ever get the larger size. I always get the 3-ounce pack. And anyway, I'm going to mix it with less water than the directions call for because I want to be able to slice the pie. I've got to be mixing this for about 2 minutes, so we'll just keep talking. So on the Lorna Doone pie crust with the pineapple filling, I actually froze, I froze 4 pieces of that, and it turned out well. We had a piece last night, and freezing it didn't change a thing. It still was very good. And even the crust was still a little crunchy. So now that I know I can freeze these Jello pies, it's like Annie bar the door, because I'm going to be making a lot of them. So this one is a peanut butter pie crust, and I'm using the strawberry Jello with cream cheese, and it's going to sort of remind me of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I love peanut butter and jelly, and I like the jelly to be strawberry jam or grape jam. And I actually tried to find some grape Jello, and I couldn't find any. Our supply in our local Walmart is greatly depleted, so there was no grape. But I do know that they make grape Jello, so I'm going to still look. Maybe next time I go they'll have some. And so anyway, I think this is pretty well mixed up now. So I actually put the crust cooled, and I actually put it in the freezer to cool it even more, because I don't want it to be the least bit warm when I put the Jello filling in there. I wanted to show you about these cookies that we made. Let's see, 6 cookies from the crust that was left over. There's what they look like, and they are very crunchy. Not a real good cookie because they're not sweet enough, but certainly a good pie crust. Alright, so we're ready to dump this in, and again, I used my blender, my regular blender, instead of the Vitamix for this because it comes apart, and I put it right in the dishwasher. Very, very easy to clean. Alright, so we're going to dump the Jello mixture in first. And then we're going to put in the cream cheese. And that's all that we're going to do. I'm not going to add any fruit or anything to it. But there's all kinds of things you can do with this. I mean, just the sky's the limit as far as the different flavors and all that can be used. And I do prefer the cream cheese to the other mixtures. Let's see, what were they? Let's see if I can get that out of there. The cottage cheese. I did try that, but I definitely prefer the cream cheese in there. All right, that's got it. Just put that in there like that. And now I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of water to this. And that water, I actually got ice in there, so I put the ice in there and then fill the water up to the 3/4 of a cup mark. So we've got a 1/2 cup of water initially when we're when we're dissolving the Jello, and then another 3/4 of a cup because I want it thicker, because I want to be able to slice the pie. All right, so we'll put that in. All right, this is going to be loud. Here we go. Just let it run until I don't see any more little white specks in there. That way I know it's dissolved. My pie crust is cold. Good and cold. And I am going to put this in the freezer to start with, maybe for about 30 minutes, and then move it down to the bottom of the refrigerator. There it is. Now on this one, I'm going to, when I serve it, I'm going to actually use some whipped cream on it. I mean, it's strawberry. It's got to have whipped cream, right? So I can get a little more out of there. Yeah, I'm very happy with the crust. And let me put this in the freezer and we'll be right back and we'll talk about it. All right, what I wanted to talk to y'all about was I'm going to leave the exact recipe I used. Now, it did turn out. It turned out great, I thought. But I think that one of the things, I'm going to leave this exact recipe down below in the show more section. But here's what I'm going to do next time I make this. Instead of even using the butter, I'm going to use 3/4 of a cup of the peanut butter and just leave that 1/4 cup butter out, because it definitely tastes like peanut butter. It smells like peanut butter, but I want it even stronger like peanut butter. So that's what I'm going to do next time I make this crust, which will probably be next week. All right, y'all. So I'll let you see what it looks like tonight when we have this, because I'm going to leave it in the freezer for about 30 minutes, and I'm going to move it to the bottom of the refrigerator and let it finish setting. All right. We'll see y'all next time. Bye for now. All right, it's about, 8:15 at night, and this is what we're going to have. There's the strawberry cream cheese pie with a peanut butter crust. There's Mr. Bucky's piece, and there's my piece. There's the rest of the pie, and I'm going to freeze it in one of those salad containers, so I cut it into 8 different pieces. All right, and I know y'all want me to taste of it, so hold on. All right, I'm going to give this pie a taste. Y'all always want me to taste everything I cook, so here goes. Get another bite. Okay, the crust has a sort of a mild taste of peanut butter, and of course the strawberry tastes very strawberry. I decided to top it off with whipped cream, so I'm going to go eat this. All right, y'all, we will see y'all next time.